Good evening, and thank you for joining us. We begin tonight in the nation's capital, where an armed man was arrested early this morning near the Prime Minister's residence. The military has confirmed the suspect is a member of the Canadian Armed Forces. A large number of police descended on the sprawling estate of Rideau Hall. That's where Justin Trudeau lives, as well as the Governor-General, Julie Payette. Investigators say neither Trudeau nor Payette were home at the time. Sources tell Global News the suspect was in possession of several firearms. Our Ottawa Bureau Chief, Mercedes Stephenson, is tracking this story. Mercedes, what are you hearing from your sources about this?
Well, David, the man smashed through the gates at 6:30 in the morning. As you mentioned, he was driving a truck which he had driven, according to sources from northern Manitoba, to speak to the Prime Minister. Inside that vehicle, sources say, were 3 long guns, including 2 shotguns and 1 rifle. The man's vehicle was disabled after he came through the gates. He got out of it at that point, and sources say that he had 1 long gun slung across his back and another long gun in his hands. He was confronted almost immediately by the police. They were able to contain him, and they spent essentially the next 2 hours talking him down and convincing him to surrender. They say he made it clear that he did not have a beef with the police, that the surrender was peaceful. He did not resist arrest. The RCMP, especially in this political climate, did not want to have to shoot somebody if they didn't have to, and they were able to arrest him without that kind of an incident. As you mentioned, he is a member of the Canadian Armed Forces. In particular, he's a member of the Canadian Rangers. They're a group that patrols Canada's remote north. You'd recognize them by their distinctive red sweatshirts. And he did have those military rations in his car. So that's what we know about him at this point.
And I guess the big question, Mercedes, is why. You mentioned he wanted to speak to the Prime Minister. Do we know what was it that he wanted to talk about?
Sources say that the man stated he had lost his job and was about to lose the truck that he used to crash through the gates. He was angry over the current situation with coronavirus and how the government has responded. Sources say that the man stated he wanted to tell Prime Minister Trudeau that he did not think the government was listening or doing enough to help him, and that he's frustrated with the current situation. David?
Mercedes Stephenson tonight. Thank you, Mercedes.